Okay, here we are. It's 8:55 a.m., 8:56 a.m. New York time, and Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. So, anyhow, I'm looking at my balance here. I'm up to 19,210.68. My last video was at 5:30 a.m., so about 3.5 hours ago. I was at 17,869.58, a difference of about a little over $1,300. So that's $1,300 in about 3.5 hours. So, anyways, there was a couple of them that took profit when I signed in, and I still got a couple out, but this one, the Australian dollar USD, um, it's going up a little farther than what I anticipated, but it's still going to go back down. And even if it don't go all the way down here to take profit, by the time that happens, I'll have made maybe a couple more $1,000, and it'll start going down to where I won't lose that much. So I mean, it's not even gonna make a difference. My biggest thing, like I said in the other video, is to keep my margin level above 300. Right now I've got it at 450, um, and I've got all these waiting to get into profit. um, so they will, like I said, you just got to be patient, because I'm looking at the 4 hour and the daily chart. I might look at the 1 hour, even the 30 minute, if it comes down to the wire of trying to read these candlesticks as to what direction it's going to go. But I already know. See, it's on a downtrend. Like I said, even uptick here. If you got in here and put a sell order in here, just wait it out, and look, you'd be in profit. So you can scalp this 4 hour and daily chart, but usually like the 4 hour chart, you can kind of scalp it, and you see what direction it's going. Let's look at this here. It's going to go down because it's struggling, not even meeting, it's struggling. It's going to go down. It's been going down. See, it went up a little bit right here, but ever since 2nd of February, it kind of went up and down, and now see, this done crossed over, and it's still going down. So I don't I didn't even set a take profit on that. I'm just gonna let it ride, and even though I'm in the black now, I'm just gonna let it ride because it'll get in profit. And like I said before, at the very least, you can wait it out to where you don't lose as much. If all of a sudden this thing takes a dive, or jumps up there, all of a sudden, boom, it'll correct itself out over a few days. You can see, um, like if you had a sell order in somewhere around in here and thinking that it was going to go down more or whatever, then all of a sudden this happens. I mean, that's you would have been over $2,000 in the hole on dollar, a pip. But then it just hold out, you got that money back. And the whole idea of holding out is you got to keep your margin level up. And like I said, above 300. If I let it go below 300, I don't keep it there very long, because what'll happen is when your margin level gets down below 100, they'll zap whatever it is the highest. So if it dropped down below 100, and this was at 1,000, and that's what they would take. And that's what can drive this down. So if this thing all of a sudden takes off and goes $2,000 in the hole, that's going to drop my margin level. Okay, so I don't want my margin level to be where a drastic jump like that will kill it. So if it does, if something happens and that margin level drops down to dangerous levels, what I can do is I can close one of the lower ones out, which will increase my margin level. But the best thing to do is to take profit on something. So, with these little $100 to $200 scalping moves on a 4-hour chart, now I just got alerted to sell USD cheap. So, we can check that out. See, I wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna. Cause see, here's my custom moving average. It's a way above that, and there's my other. No, I'm not gonna do that. Cause look how it's been fluttering around the top down here on this stochastic. It dips a little bit, but this thing's been going up for quite a while. Except for this big dip. I mean, look at this. Can you imagine getting in on that? I missed that. That I don't know why my mouse is not behaving. But if you'd have rode that out, you could have made, that's 18,082.24. So you made over $18,000. But even if you just got in here, and then maybe seen this start to happen, so you get out of it. So let's say you get out of it right there. Still, you could have made 13,500, about 13,500 pips there. And a dollar, that's $13,500 right there in 4 hours, because this is a 4-hour candle. So in 4 hours, then of course, if you've seen it doing this number here, so that's another 4 hours. So in about 12 hours time, because if it's down here, you want to see if it's going to go down more, right? But even if you waited there and boom, another 4 hours, you could have had another $4,000. So yeah, it could have been very possible you make $18,000. But then it's been steadily going up, and that's why I was talking about it correcting itself. So if you had a bad trade on there where it went wrong, if you was on the other side of that, okay, so now you're $2,000 down. Just wait. See, there you go, boom. Now you're only $1,000 down, or no, 20,000. No, you would lose. You would have lost $20,000. I mean, but if you got, I don't know, you unless you had a bunch of money in your account, I guess. So this is kind of the danger, the pitfall of it, because if it, like this account here's got 19,000 in it, so they're not going to cover a $15,000 loss. So what they'd do is probably alert you or something. I don't know. But I don't set stop losses, and that's number one rule: set your stop losses. But uh, it seems like every time you set a stop loss, it'll hit it. It'll hit it, and I would rather just build the account up. I couldn't imagine being on the other side of this. So if you do set a stop loss, just set it for a couple thousand pips. Um, I mean, because even here, you're looking at there's 1,800 pips, 1,800 pips, just down to this little support line right here. That would be kind of considered a support line here. So you're looking at 1,800 pips. So if you was on the wrong side of that, then you'd be $1,700-$1,800 down. But I don't set them. I don't, set a trailing stop loss for about 1,000 pips or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what they would do if this happened and you had $20,000 and you didn't even have 20,000 in your account, and all of a sudden you're 15,000 down. You wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. You could probably hang on to it a little bit, maybe, deposit more money in your account. But this is rare. This would be. I haven't really seen too many moves like that. Not in no 4 hours. So that's kind of rare. But that's why, that's why I say the more money you have in your account, the more money you can make, the more you'll be ahead of the game. And I think a 50% rule. So let's say, you start out with $10,000 in your account, and you get it built up to, as you're building it up, you want to be able to make a withdrawal and whatever. So, take 50%. And if you make $500, take 250. So kind of, and then just build your account up. And because the more money, that's how the big guys make the money. They got big accounts. And I mean, whereas a $20,000 move wouldn't hurt them. Because if you had $100,000 in there and all of a sudden you're down $20,000, then it's going to correct itself to where, boom. I mean, it's almost up there now. Let's see, 0960, and that was it. Um, I don't know, but anyways, yeah, you wouldn't lost. You had to hang on to it for a while. That was a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago. That was like January 15th. Um, so it's March 4th now. So it's been about 5, 6 weeks ago. So if you had enough money in your account where you could hang on to that for 5 or 6 weeks, you wouldn't. You would probably still lose a little bit of money, but you wouldn't be out because it, you know, consolidates and it'll correct itself. But chances are, so that's the point here with the margin levels. You want to keep your margin level above 300, and like I said, this is a scary thing here. It'd be great if you're on the right side of it, but if you're on the wrong side of a move like that, that's scary. And one thing I've seen though is whenever they do this gradual consolidation thing, is when you kind of got to watch out for that. Um, with the major moves. Let's see, it was gradually going up, it was consolidating, but this one went up. You know, you're looking at 1,400 pips, so that's not. Anybody that knows anything about Forex is gonna know that that's kind of a rare move right there. That was just incredible. Anyways, so that's it for this video. Later.